What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's episode we are going to be talking about EDC or everyday carry, specifically how I set my EDC up and the items that I choose to carry with me every time that I go out. I like to keep things kind of simple and practical, so this is just my opinion on it, but if you think I leave something out or you got a comment or want to add anything, you can always do so in the comments below. But again, like I said, I like to keep my stuff practical. This is just one opinion. There's tons of them out there on EDC that you can do. But one thing I do know is living at the base, formerly known as Fort Bragg, when you want to venture off and go out into town and experience all that Fayetteville has to offer, that there is a bit of preparedness that's probably in your best interest to go ahead and have. If you know, you know. First thing we're going to talk about is something to keep everything contained. I don't like a bunch of shit in my pockets with them all bulky looking, or having to try to get something out of a pocket and dig through 3 or 4 different things trying to find it. So I usually carry a bag of some sort on me. I don't really usually carry a full backpack. I think it just makes you stand out if you want to go for like the gray man thing with the backpack with the level 4 plate in it. That's cool. If you want to be the local vet bro that I see who wears like the tactical Molly rig thing right here with the cat tourniquet on one side and the IFAK on the other, and like your Spartan team patch in the middle or whatever. While I do think that does a great job of saying I've got a gun, again, if that's your thing, that's cool. I like to be a little more inconspicuous, so I'm generally running just a simple Kavu rope bag. It's got some external pockets for things to get easy access to it. You've got the 2 large side pockets. There's an internal pocket for like keys or things that you're worried about losing. And these bags are generally most likely to be found on the backs of soccer moms and hipsters the world over. So you add in my long hair, the fact that I drive a Subaru and I'm carrying this bag, and I think I keep a pretty low profile, which is actually what I'm after. After that, the first thing I always have on me is just some sort of knife, a simple EDC knife to use the term. This one right here is just a CRKT tuna. Nothing fancy. You can pick these up for about $50, $60, and I think that's perfect for an EDC knife. It's sharp, it's functional, and it's not so expensive that if I lose it or break it or something happens to it that I feel bad. I do have nicer knives that cost a lot more money, but I generally keep, there's like more of a purpose-driven tool. I'm not carrying them around every day is what I'm saying. Now this can be used in a defensive scenario and it's got a decent grip, and you know, I would feel comfortable with that. But we've all heard the saying about bringing a knife to a gunfight. And when it comes to knife fights, the only thing you actually need to remember about that is you just don't want to be in a knife fight. Piggybacking off the knife, I also carry this Gerber multi-tool. Again, it's just a super functional item. It gives you some basic hand tools at your disposal. You got your screwdrivers, various blades, set of pliers when you open it. I'm sure we're all familiar with these. I got hooked on carrying these when I was like a young soldier in the Army. I was made the saw gunner, and this was one of the items they gave you as part of your basic issue for making adjustments to the weapon or using it to help clear malfunctions or stuff like that. But beyond that, and just like a normal capacity, just a good item to have on you. Always good to have a few tools at your disposal. I also always carry a flashlight. Again, just a handy item to have around. I keep one in each of our vehicles, and I also keep one here with me at all times in the bag. This is just a Surefire that I've had forever. I think I like bought it clothing and sales or something back when I was still in. So this thing is at least 12 or 13 years old, but it's always done me good. Runs a couple 123 batteries, and in a pinch is bright enough, as you can see, to put right in somebody's eyes, kind of give them a little stun, maybe buy yourself a little time. Now, some people will say you don't need to carry a flashlight, just use a weapons light or whatever, but I'm not really a fan of that, and I've heard other people say it. Like if I hit something in my car at night and I need to get out and investigate, or I need to poke around the hood or something and it's dark, I don't want to look like a jackass with a weapon out there flagging everything. I just think it's a bad look and it's going to attract attention to yourself you probably don't need, so just get you like a nice normal flashlight. Next, we have my wallet. Again, nothing special, just a standard men's bifold wallet. Holds my ID cards, holds my credit cards, holds some cash. That's all it needs to do. I just want to hit real quickly on cash. If you're not carrying cash in your wallet, you need to be. go ahead and throw you a little bit of money in there. That way, if there's a natural disaster, your credit/debit cards, they're going to be not even worth the plastic they're made out of. So you need to have cash on you to get necessities, get where you're going, take care of yourself, take care of your family. Enough said on that. Next few items I just want to kind of breeze over real quick. These aren't big hitters or anything, but I do keep my phone on me. I mean, everybody's got one of these. You probably need to have one. Along with the phone, I also keep a spare charging cable, backup charger, you know, like a little brick or whatever that you can take with you and recharge your phone if necessary. I keep a lighter in there just to have one for general purpose. AirPods or earbuds I wear. And sunglasses is the other one. I always have some sunglasses with me. I'm kind of photosensitive. Again, nothing fancy. These are just some Ray-Bans. The one thing I do always look for in sunglasses, I like to have ones with polarized lenses. It'll cut all that glare off. So if you've got a vehicle coming at you, you can generally see through the windshield, see to the people. It gives you the ability to kind of see through the surface of water. Very handy and just something I recommend. Also, if you're out and about and you do get yourself into a situation, eye pro is never a bad thing to have. Now, I'm always wearing a watch as well. So beyond just liking to know what time it is, I'm generally wearing like an Apple Watch for every day, mostly for the fitness tracking functions. I don't like to be too sedentary, and it's an easy, lightweight, just like at a glance look and see, oh, I've probably burnt this many calories, I've been moving this much, I've taken X amount of steps, kind of stuff I want to know, again, just to make sure I'm not getting lazy and sitting around too much. If I'm going out somewhere nicer, I usually ditch the Apple Watch. I just like a good classic men's watch. I do usually wear the Citizen PCAT is I think this model that I'm wearing. This is someone that the wife picked up for me. Tells the time, has some basic functions, looks good. That's all I need, but I dig it. Next thing I've always got on me is a pen and the notebook. Just whether I need to jot down some thoughts that are in my head so I don't forget them. Say I'm getting ready to make another video, I'll use this. Write down what I'm thinking about, but also from like a little bit of a civilian, you know, surveillance reconnaissance perspective. It's good to have a pen and something to write on. Maybe you're out at dinner with the wife and there's a dude in there looking shady. You want to make some notes, remember what he looks like in case anything happens, in case the police get involved. That's good. Maybe there's a car driving erratically around you you're trying to keep an eye on. You just want to go ahead and jot down the license plate. Notebooks are also always good for that. There's an argument to be made on that you could just use your phone, and I would agree to an extent. I think if you're in the car and you're just trying to catch that license plate or get a video, that's probably fine. I do think, however, if you're in a public area and there's like a bad actor in there, it's going to be a lot more obvious if you're trying to lift that phone up and point it at them and get that video or take the picture of them or whatever, than if you're kind of like off in the corner of the restaurant at your table, casually writing at your table. There's any other number of things you could be writing. It doesn't make you stick out. So yeah, long story short, keep a little pen and paper on you. Last thing we're going to talk about is my CCW. I purposely left this to the end because I kind of think there's this tendency to put way too much emphasis on the gun as something that you need to be carrying every day. And I agree that you do need to be carrying it every day. Self-defense becomes priority number one really quick when a situation gets kinetic, and I recognize that. But with any luck, you're never going to have to use it. You're probably going to spend a lot more time using those basic items I mentioned and making sure you have all the general things you'll need from day to day on you. My hot take here is that ideally, you're never going to have to use your weapon in anger, and all the two-way influencer types that are running around acting like they can't wait to get the chance to shoot somebody, they are borderline sociopaths. Moving on. For the last year or so, I've been carrying this. This is a Sig Sauer P365X macro. I'm not going to go super deep in the weeds on it because I am planning like a 1-year review video of you know, shooting it and how it's held up, how I feel about it. But long story short, I think for everyday purposes, this is a great weapon to have on you. It's got a thin profile. It's easy to conceal. I like the full-size grip module. I have a little bit bigger hands. And at a 17+1 capacity, I think it's great for something to keep on you for self-defense. So this particular model is the TAC Ops edition, and I picked this one for a couple reasons. One being it has this flared magazine well, makes your reloads a little bit easier, kind of guides the magazine in there. Also, if it's cold and you're wearing gloves or something like that, this has like an extended slide catch lever over here. Still easy to operate it in gloves. Things aren't getting jammed up. You also get 4 mags with the TAC Ops edition at the time of purchase. And they were running a deal when I bought this one that if you registered the gun with SIG shortly afterward, they sent you 2 more. So that's a really good deal. If you know anything about SIG, it's kind of like one of the things I don't like about it is their magazines are ludicrously expensive for what they are, and like 60 bucks a pop for a 17 round mag for this gun. So getting 6 at one shot was just really a good deal. I just keep it in like a simple IWB holster here. Keep it inside the waistband. It does a really good job of keeping it from printing. I can carry it under a sweatshirt like this, flannel, definitely under a jacket, and even in a t-shirt in the summer if you're not a real big dude. It's probably not going to stick out very much. But the most important thing about this one, and the reason that I carry this one particularly, is over the last year or so since I've got it, this is the gun that I train with the most. So long story short, if you're not training, if you're not taking your weapon out to the range, you're not running drills, you're not practicing reloads, you're not comfortable with it, you don't know what you're doing, the gun and you have really just become a liability at that point. And I'm gonna be honest with you, if that's the case, just leave it at home. Do yourself a favor. So that's pretty much it for my setup and my thoughts on EDC. If you liked the video, go ahead and let me know. Maybe give me a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. If you think there's anything I left out or you got some comments on EDC in general, go ahead and drop those down below too. I'd like to hear them. Last thing, we do have some more cool videos coming up. Like I mentioned during this one, I've got my SIG 1 year of carrying review and how I feel about the weapon and how I think it's doing. We've got tons of other stuff planned for the year. So yeah, go ahead and subscribe, stick around, and we'll see you in the next one.